Hello everyone, my name is Abyaz Kabir from the Kabir News channel, where we have only the greatest news in town. Let's get straight into this week's news. What's cooking this week? Well, as usual, we've got loads of traffic on the road, jams all over the roads. More people have started playing a particular mobile video game known as Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is the newest sponsor of our channel, so we'd like to quickly inform you about what an amazing game it is. Huh? What's that? Oh, they canceled our sponsorship? Well, that's ridiculous. Never mind, forget Raid Shadow Legends. Actually, don't play that game. Let's get into what you came here for. The news. Bangladesh is being hit by a heat wave with temperatures going above 40 degrees Celsius. Speaking of heat, on February 29th, there was a huge fire on Bailey Road here in Dhaka, Bangladesh. I'm sure you've all heard of it, and in case you haven't, we have many guests here today to provide some very informative statements about the incident. Without further ado, let's get into our interview with our first guest, Fire Chief Ahmed. How are you, Chief Ahmed? Good, thank you. What about you? Good, thanks. So, explain to us, what happened? What is this Bailey Road incident which everyone has been talking about lately? The Bangladesh Bailey Road fire was a terrible incident which occurred on February 29, 2024 at around 9:50 p.m. and ended around 11:50 p.m. Bangladesh Standard Time. The fire started on the ground floor of a 7-story building in a popular biryani restaurant known as Kachi Bhai. As of right now, the cause of the fire is unknown, but our department has reason to believe that the fire started from a gas leak or stove. The fire quickly engulfed the entire building with its blaze. It killed 46 civilians in the process and injured 11 more. But Chief, how could this fire engulf the building so swiftly? Well, the safety precautions of the building were unfortunately extremely poor. It is a shame that our country has issues as such, but there is nothing we can do now. We must learn from our past mistakes and make a change so that we can move into the future with less innocent lives lost due to faulty safety precautions. What kinds of safety hazards did this building have? The building was never authorized for restaurants. The building was approved for commercial stores, but not restaurants. The restaurants were operating without permits, which posed a safety hazard. On top of that, there were no fire exits in the building at all. Many civilians died while trying to jump off the building to escape the wrath of the blaze. There were also gas cylinders on every single floor, including the stairs. These gas cylinders' explosions greatly enhanced the fire's power and allowed it to quickly engulf the building. Oh my god, this is such a terrible thing to hear. I can't believe the state of our country is like this nowadays. I hope we can make a change so we can prevent incidents in the future. One of the biggest issues in Bangladesh is the fire safety issue. My heart goes out to all the families of the deceased and injured. There was a family, a father, wife, 2 daughters, and a son. This family had been trying to get their visas approved for a few months so that they could emigrate to Italy. Eventually, their visas were approved. To celebrate this occasion, they went to the Kachi Bhai restaurant together as a family. The fire didn't spare a single one of them. A happy family who was preparing for the next big chapter of their life together, celebrating. All their hopes and dreams ended just like that. Bangladesh has a history of colossal fires occurring in factories and buildings. As one of the most densely populated countries in the world, we must make sure that our buildings are properly equipped with the necessary precautions, because without safety, all hope for Bangladesh is lost. That is so devastating. Thank you for your input on this important issue. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to inform the public about these situations and to speak on this issue. Now on to our next guests, husband and wife Tanzim Khan and Zubaydah Wasim. How are you doing today?
We're doing all right, thanks. What about you?
I'm doing great, thanks. So, let's get straight into the information, starting off with Zubaydah. Please tell us about your perspective on this issue.
Of course, my perspective is that the government and restaurant owners are at fault here. I think that we should punish them and make a change in society. The government has been so negligent with these types of issues, but that must come to an end. The government knew about this building's issues. They were given details of the fire safety hazards but ignored it and didn't act. Because of this, so many innocent people lost their lives. We must lash out for this. The public must make the government change. The restaurant owners are also at fault here. They didn't have permission to operate in these locations and they knew it. Yet they still chose to continue their business. It was because of this negligence and irresponsibility that the fire reached the caliber that it did.
Wow, you make some very valid points here. I see where you're coming from for sure. Thank you for your input, Ms. Wasim. Now we will move on to Tanzim's perspective. Tanzim, the floor is yours.
Right, let's get into it. My perspective on this issue is similar, but I would like to add on to it and say that although it's quite easy to point fingers at the government, we must remember that there's only so much that the government can do to make a change. The government will do its best to make changes in our society, but society needs to let the government do so and should not approach this situation with extreme rage. While many people blame the government, they should also look at where building owners and restaurant owners stand in this issue. Building owners should ensure that their buildings follow all fire safety rules and regulations, and that all commercial stores operating in the buildings have the proper permits and precautions. Restaurant owners should not operate in locations which they know they are forbidden from operating in. This is my general perspective on the whole ordeal, but I would like to also remind you all that the building owners and restaurant owners did not intentionally start this fire. They didn't mean to harm anyone, most likely. These restaurant owners and building owners all come from humble backgrounds. It's just that they decided to construct their businesses in the wrong place and made a mistake. Of course, they should be punished, but we cannot cancel them as a society for making a mistake, as all people make mistakes in their lives. It's a part of human nature. Thank you for your time.
A very interesting answer that truly made me think. Thank you for your perspective, Mr. Khan. Thank you both for the very detailed answers.
Thank you for having us.
Now that we have heard two different perspectives on the situation, let's hear from someone who is a part of these perspectives. Next, we'll be moving on to Rimon Azhar. He is a member of the DNCC, Dhaka North City Corporation. He will be speaking about what measures the government is taking to ensure that these issues will not occur again or will at least be minimized. Hello, Rimon Azhar, sir. How are you?
I am good. What about you?
Good, thank you. Please tell us about what measures the government is taking to minimize fire accidents in Bangladesh.
All right. DNCC is taking multiple drives around Dhaka, and we have been issuing fines to numerous restaurants in the area for not having the proper fire safety regulations. The restaurant in which the fire started, Kachi Bhai, has been fined 1 lakh Bangladeshi taka. That's 100,000 Bangladeshi taka. If the owner of Kachi Bhai fails to pay this fine, he will face 3 months of jail time. We fined the Dhanshri restaurant 40,000 taka and the owner of a building named Sheba House 50,000 taka for not having proper fire safety precautions. We are working to enforce the laws and issue more fines to restaurant and building owners to make sure that fire safety laws are met.
It's nice to hear that you are trying to act. Thank you for your efforts and explanations. Now that we've heard from all the guest speakers, I hope you've all got insight on the situation and can form your own perspectives on it. What is my perspective, you ask? Well, I believe there are many people at fault here. The government, the building owners, the restaurant owners, etc. I think we should make changes in society and strive to build a city with better fire safety regulations. We should increase our focus on the issue and view fire safety ignorance as a crime. Singapore fines people for littering. I think Bangladesh should view fire safety as a serious issue, as Singapore views littering as a serious issue, and should send out officers on regular patrols to issue large, hefty fines to buildings which don't have the proper fire safety precautions. Although punishments should be applied, I think that as a society, it's important not to cancel or abolish these individuals from society. They've made mistakes, which they have been punished for already. There is no need for us as a society to punish them a second time. And with that, our news for today is concluded. Thank you for watching. Make sure to stick around for the trivia segment. AK signing off. See you tomorrow, same place, same time.